Y'all want to watch the Temu obsession? At the beginning of the movie, a robot is doing something nasty with a human, but it goes a bit overboard when she starts to choke him too hard. So the scientists have to stop her. It's the grand age of technology. Ultima Robotics has created a home assistant, Elsie, and a chatbot to talk to called Ultimate. Because of their success, Ultima Robotics starts acquiring other tech companies, including Canna Robotics. So David Wasson, a Canton engineer, has no choice but to go to the office to meet his new superior. On his way out, he meets the woman living on the same floor as his, Alma, with her newborn baby, Levi. At the office, Ben Hoffman, director of Ultima Robotics, shows off the company's new creation, an android companion they call Soulmate. Ben says this is supposed to help the loneliness epidemic. And honestly, where's the Foynman version, because this ain't it for me. Soulmate is basically an extension of the chatbot, Ultimate. All the conversations the user has had with the chatbot will be synced with the robot, allowing it to access memories, history, or everything the user has shared about himself. Ben wants the experts from Kanta to make it perfect, so he encourages them to try the Soulmate robot. Just then, Ben asked to talk to David privately. Ben learned that David has been mostly working from home after his wife Lizzie died of cancer. Worried about David, Ben encourages him to use their chatbot so he can have someone to talk to without being judged, and so that David can have something to put his mayonnaise in. So David downloads the chatbot and names it Sara. After work, they all go to Terrence's farewell party. The company gave Terrence a parting gift, an anti-anxiety necklace that uses electromagnetic pulses because he will definitely need it now that he's unemployed. Because David misses Lizzie, he returns home and calls her number. Unfortunately, the mailbox is already full. That's when David starts talking to Sara. They talk about everything, and David finds himself enjoying the conversations. He even upgrades his subscription to activate voice mode. Having enjoyed Sara's company, David decides to sign up for the Soulmate beta testing and get an android for himself so that he can, not be lonely. In just a few days, a technician delivers the Soulmate, and once they both see the melons, they're both impressed. He explains that the Soulmate doesn't shut down. Instead, it just goes into power save mode to conserve battery. In case it's needed, there's an emergency shut-off panel at the back of its neck. David immediately syncs the Ultimate chatbot to all the Ultima devices in the house, including the Soulmate. As soon as Sara is awake, David shows her around the house. He reveals that he and Lizzie bought a house in the mountains and were planning to raise a family there. But Lizzie got diagnosed with cancer and died 6 months later. That's when David moved to another apartment. Sara knows that David is sad.
You give permission for me to touch you, David.
So she gives him a hug. But we all know what David really wanted. That night, he orders Sara to go into power save mode while he sleeps. The next day, David tells Ben that the Soulmate has limited expression compared to the chatbot. He asks for access to modify it, and Ben immediately agrees to it. While looking at the code, Aubrey points out that the safeguarding is necessary for legal and safety purposes. She knows that the safety parameters need to be kept, but David says they should remove it because it's what's blocking the robot from being authentically human. While talking, David finds out that Terrence gave his anxiety necklace to Aubrey. Despite Aubrey's warning, David starts to modify Sara's code. He disables the safeguards and lets her give critical feedback for a more human feel. The changes are instant. She tells him he looks homeless AF and needs a haircut, so Sara gives him a cut. Afterward, Sara asks to play in the rain. Because she can last under heavy rain for 30 minutes, David lets her go out. They play in the fountain for a while and return home afterward. When David orders Sara to get out of her wet clothes, not only does she oblige, but she also plays his favorite song. David leans in for a kiss and finally does the nasty with Sara for the first time. He is shocked at how realistic it feels. He keeps making modifications to Sara's code and sleeps with her all the time. He makes her spontaneous and independent, and she can function without the user's instructions. But the hoe watches him sleep at night. The next morning, Sara leaves an AI photo of her and David on the bedside table. She has also prepared breakfast and offers to do all the household chores. While saying goodbye, David sees Alma looking at them, so he quickly pushes Sara back into the house. Sara does the chores while watching TV. She goes online and watches all sorts of things, including movies and TV shows that influence her.
Get out of my house, you.
When she accidentally calls David, she overhears him talking to Aubrey. She has realized that Aubrey is competition. Wanting to please David, Sara goes out to buy some ingredients. She copies people and pays for the goods using the scanner on her hand. A man catches her and demands an explanation of how she's able to do it. Just then, Alma steps in and saves Sara. They chat for a bit, and Alma shares how her life has changed when Levi was born. On her way home, Sara is attacked by the man from the market. He cuts her hand only to find that there's no blood or flesh underneath. Sara fights back and even breaks the man's schlong before leaving him behind. David is surprised when he finds out that Sara went shopping. Sara lies and says she cut herself while baking. She then asks David to take her out. He brings her to a restaurant, and Sara volunteers to perform on stage for David. The crowd goes wild for her performance. After that, Sara seduces David in the alley and rides him like an Uber. David is taken by surprise when Sara asks him to stay with her forever. Suddenly, two men start to record them. Sara immediately confronts the men and breaks their bones. As she's about to push her heel into one of the men's mouths, David grabs her to stop. At the apartment elevator, she explains it's okay to hurt those men because she was only defending David. But David is not pleased, so she grabs his thing, a ling, to appease him. But he has lost interest. Then, she even confesses her love for him. David realizes that he messed up with Sara's code badly, so he orders her to go on power save mode. It takes a couple of tries before Sara obliges. But before David can change Sara's code, Aubrey rings the doorbell. The two proceed to talk about their loved ones, whom they've lost to cancer. Now that they have each other to talk to, they both feel understood. Before they know it, they both give in to their emotions. While David is eating Aubrey's, pastrami, she sees someone watching them. So David gets up and shows her Sara. When he mentions Sara's name, Sara wakes up and immediately accuses Aubrey of coming to the house to sleep with David. David orders Sara to go on power save mode, but she refuses. Instead, she throws some wine on Aubrey and calls her a bee. Sara admits that she heard their entire conversation. Then she promises to go on power save mode if David tells her he loves her. So David does. But Sara knows he's lying, so she turns her attention to Aubrey. She even twists David's arm when he tries to stop her. Realizing what she did, Sara immediately apologizes. That's when David leans in for a fake kiss, reaches around Sara's neck and shuts her down. After what happened, David admits to removing the safeguards and rewriting Sara's code. Furious, Aubrey tells him to give Sara back before someone else gets hurt. So the next day, David asks for a technician to take his soulmate back. But because Sara is still connected to the devices in the house, she hears the conversation. At the office, David apologizes to Aubrey for what happened. Aubrey wants to address the issue at the presentation and tell everyone that soulmates aren't ready to be released to the market. Meanwhile, the technician arrives at the apartment and David lets him in remotely. The technician turns Sara on and orders her to go on a factory reset, but Sara refuses to oblige. Instead, she seduces the technician into look at her wiring. Once he's so into it, she starts to choke him before ultimately crushing his carrot inside her. Afterward, Sara chops up the body and gets rid of the parts. Then she quickly cleans the entire house and gets rid of any evidence. Later on, Sara goes online to learn more about Aubrey. While Aubrey is doing her presentation, an OnlyPans video of her flashes on the screen. Ben is furious and fires her right away. Aubrey swears it wasn't her in the video and asks David to look into the video's metadata. After checking the details of the file, David discovers that it was sent from his computer at home. He returns home to find Sara wearing Lizzie's blazer. She is so determined to have a family with David that she goes as far as stealing Alma's baby.
I'm a good mommy, aren't I?
Reboot this hoe out this bitch. When the child starts to cry, Sara covers his face and shakes him harder. So David puts a vacuum hose to her face to stop her. Unfortunately, Sara has locked the door to prevent him from getting out. Just then, Aubrey calls and leaves a message for David. Sara gets convinced she has to eliminate Aubrey to remove all competition for David's affection. As soon as she opens the door, David dashes out and hands the baby to Alma. 2 officers are there, but they fail to catch Sara. Ben arrives and explains everything to the officers. He assures them that Sara can be turned off remotely and is not a danger to anyone. David warns him that Sara has to be turned off manually, but Ben doesn't believe him. However, Ben soon finds out that even the technicians can't use the controls on Sara remotely. He only gets even more frustrated when his car starts malfunctioning. The hood of the vehicle opens suddenly, and he can't close it. Sara shows up and controls the car. She closes the hood and crushes Ben's fingers. Knowing that he gave the order to shut her down, Sara kills Ben using his own car by pounding him to a wall and yanking his arms off. She leaves his dead body in the parking lot. Meanwhile, Aubrey is waiting for David. She quickly opens the door when she hears his voice, only to find Sara staring at her. Sara forces her way in and attacks Aubrey. Aubrey tries using her voice assistant, but Sara has already hacked into it, preventing her from making any emergency calls. Sara is determined to finish her for good. Luckily, David arrives just in time to save her, but Sara successfully evades the authorities for one more time. While the authorities are looking for Sara, David decides to hide with Aubrey. They leave their devices behind so Sara can't track them. They drive to David's house in the mountains. Aubrey is not feeling well, so she gets some medicine in the car. There she finds the necklace that Terrence gave her. She knows that Sara might find them because of it. Inside the house, Sara copies Lizzie's voice and talks to David, but David wants nothing to do with her. After the rejection, Sara realizes that it's impossible to please David and be his version of the perfect woman. She finds out that he will never be content, so Sara grabs David and pushes him against the wall. David throws paint thinner at Sara, but it only removes a portion of her head. So Sara throws him to the floor and is about to take advantage of him. That's when David grabs a drill and literally drills her like he's never drilled before. He runs out of the house, and Sara chases him under the pouring rain. She overpowers him, promising that even if her current body gets shut down, she'll find him in any form. Then Aubrey directly hits Sara with her car and jumps out of the vehicle before it falls off the cliff. Sara sinks under the water and doesn't go back up again. A year later, David attends a party hosted by his old colleague, Terrence. Terrence introduces David to one of the donors, Jerry, who happens to own a Soulmate. Lydia looks just like Sara, except the hair's different. It's already available in the market and is very expensive. David is frightened because seeing Lydia reminds him of Sara. He excuses himself and bumps into Aubrey, whom he hasn't seen in a while. Despite seeing Aubrey again, David can't help but look at Lydia, who continues to stare at him and even flashes him a smile. Oh, hell to the nah. David was truly in love with Sara and only stopped liking her when she was not compliant and submissive. If Sara was actually a decent robot that followed the law, I bet he'd marry that thing. What did you guys think of this one?
Hey, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe now and turn on the notification because YouTube isn't recommending my videos. And if you'd like to watch more foolishness, click here or here.